Guess who's back, back again, again. JJ's back. Tell a friend. Anyway, yo guys, I want to do this real quick video, because I don't have much storage on my phone right now, and I'm not posted in a while. But I wanted to talk about if Michael Jackson is really innocent, because I've been seeing people talk about it on YouTube recently, and I wanted to give my opinion on if I believe Michael Jackson is innocent, so people know what I believe. And I'm gonna try my best to be as unbiased as possible, but then again, it's Michael Jackson, so I'll try my best though. If you ask me if I think Michael Jackson's innocent or guilty of the crimes he was, accused of, I'm gonna tell you with a straight face that he's innocent. And you know why? One, he got acquitted of all his crimes, like the criminal case. He got acquitted of the whole thing, basically. Only reason he paid off people in the civil case because he just didn't want to deal with that BS anymore because the news were on his ass. Because Michael Jackson was a very big victim of the media. I'm saying the media, they used to really violate Michael Jackson in any way you can think about it. They used to verbally abuse him. They used to even show pictures to abuse him as well. Like, it was terrible. So I can see why Michael Jackson want to pay people off so he just get this thing done. So he won't have to be in front of people. But the first criminal case, which to me is the one that really, really matters, right? He beat that case because they were seen as liars. And I think Michael's mistake, and Michael would tell you this himself if he was alive, his biggest mistake was paying that family off in the civil case, not the criminal. Criminal, he beat the criminal. He won the criminal case. The civil case, he paid people off. I guarantee you, ask Michael, he will tell you he regrets doing that. But I guarantee the reason is money. Because his lawyers were very expensive. And I know Michael was spending loads of money on lawyers. And Michael was probably told by his financial advisors and his manager and people like, hey, Michael, we can't afford this legal team anymore, bro. Because they charging crazy money. You ain't got the money for this one, big man. I know you're Michael. But if you remember, Michael throughout the years got broker and broker as time went on. That's why he had to do This Is It. And I'm a big Michael fan, but it's the truth. He got broke. He was broke. That's why you have to... Bear in mind, Michael broke isn't like me broke. You understand? Michael broke is still like 10 million in the bank. Remember that. But me broke is like nothing in my bank account, basically. Get that correct. Alright. So, Michael broke, right? They didn't have enough money probably didn't have enough money to afford the lawyers. That's probably what it was. So they just had to pay people off. I guarantee that's probably what it was. If you ask them, I guarantee he'll tell you it's two things. To re-afford lawyers again for another case, you can't afford that shit. That's too much money. I mean, he could have, but because the label would have helped him, but still. And two, he didn't want to deal with the BS from the media, which I can't even blame him for, right? I can understand, but it was a very stupid thing to do because now it makes you look really guilty when you pay people off. It does make you look very guilty, Michael Jackson. It does. It really does. And as someone who's a fan of you, I understand why you paid them off, but it still makes you look quite guilty. Like, it's sus. I can be fair to say that it's sus. And I saw people saying, I need to be quick about this, that of course Michael Jackson did it. He's really weird. He had a pet chimpanzee called Bubbles. Hey, he's got my name. If you don't know, my mom calls me Bubbles. That's one of my names. But anyway. So I got to say that Michael Jackson's chimpanzee. That's why my mom watched the Michael Jackson movie. She called me to tell me, hey, you're in the movie, by the way. And I was like, really? But anyway, Michael had a monkey called Bubbles, right? And people used to say he's weird for that. And people say it's very weird for a grown man to sleep in the bed with kids. And I agree. I fully agree. I don't think it's weird for a grown man. I'm 20 years old and I want to do some shit like that. Unless it's my siblings. You know what I'm saying? If it's my siblings, because I have 3 siblings, that's different. But if kids I don't know, I would never do. I've had to share bed with my cousins many times. When we were kids, right? I had to share bed with my cousins many times. And those are my cousins. That's different, right? Those are my cousins. That's different. They're family. Michael's doing it with random kids. So that is weird. Does not make him a predator, though. Because it's not about the fact of sleeping in bed. It was about the intent. What Michael's intent in sleeping in a bed with the kids would be. You know what I'm saying? What his intent was. Right? To me, it just seemed like he wanted to have a childhood. If you saw Michael Jackson's house, his Neverland Ranch, that place was a theme park. It had everything there, but I want to go there too. And I'm 20 years old. If Michael was still alive, I'd be down there already. But anyway, you feel what I'm saying? So, but I think Michael's main thing was he wanted to give kids a childhood that he didn't have. You know what I'm saying? And Michael lived by that. He called himself Peter Pan, you know. It'd be one thing if he called himself the Pied Piper. Okay, you know the story of the Pied Piper. It'd be one thing if he was calling himself the Pied Piper. But we know somebody else who called himself the Pied Piper. R. Kelly. and we know who R. Kelly was on. So Michael Jackson called himself Peter Pan. It just because Peter Pan really resonated with Michael Jackson because they both are like, Peter Pan technically is an adult, isn't he? But he never grew up. He's been around for a very long time, but he never grew up. And Michael Jackson resonates with that because Michael never got childhood. So I can see why Michael Jackson used to be around loads of kids, because he never had the childhood and he wanted to share that with all the other kids. And he said himself out of his own mouth, he feels like kids are more real than adults. Because adults want him for his money, but the kids they just like Michael for Michael. You know what I'm saying? Because kids don't care about money. Like, I guarantee you, if you give a kid £1, they celebrate. They don't really care about money. Trust me. That's why I always say, child support don't do nothing. Because just because you pay child support, that doesn't help anybody. Because kids don't care about the money. That's what the mother cares about. The kid needs you to be in their life. But that's a rant for another time. The point I'm trying to make is, Michael to me did not give me the vibes, or I never saw the vibe. I've seen a billion clips of Michael Jackson. I'm talking behind the scenes things that have only been released now. And I've never seen and got the impression that Michael Jackson was a predator. I've never got that impression from Michael Jackson. He always seems very sweet, you know? Like, he always, obviously he's not perfect, ain't nobody perfect, but I'm saying, he never give me the vibes of someone who's a predator. And I feel like if you're a predator, you got that energy. It's like a certain energy they have. Like, look at David, for example. I've always had when I first heard about this David case, and I saw videos of David, I always got a weird energy from David seeing them videos. I always did. It was always really weird to me. And I always wondered why I'm feeling this when watching David's video. Come to find out, David's just a weirdo. You know what I'm saying? You find out the truth. So with Michael, I never got that atmosphere. But in conclusion, I believe Michael was not a predator. I believe all those allegations were false. And if you disagree with me, come fight me in the comments. Yeah, come fight me in the comments. We can talk about it. But I believe he was innocent. If you believe he's guilty, I guess it's your opinion. Because I do find sleeping in bed with kids weird. That's weird. That's weird. We all can agree. But yeah. I want to know your opinion. Let me know in the comment down below. And bye.